ಭೈರವಕಾಲಿಕೆ ನಮೋಸ್ತುತೆ. Jai Ma Kali, Jai Ma Adhya. So good morning, and we are back on yet another video. So this is a subject that I've addressed many times in this channel. However, as we pass on and we dwell on these subjects further and further, she begins to sort of open up your mind to such an extent that you get more inputs, and as more of you send me all these emails and messages and you sit in dhyana invoking me as the Manasik Guru, the thoughts and ideology of the entire asana that is bound by these specific, I don't know, today you can say the algorithmic asana, or you can call it the digital space. It is all an asana. Everything is under her. You should not live in a state of utter chaos by thinking that your deity is just a mere stone. They sit in the stone because you are all looking at that stone and saying that she is there. So she says, okay, I will sit in my most Jagrit form in a stone. So everything, right from your EB bill to your monthly mobile bill, your Wi-Fi, she's there in everything, and she can listen to everything. She can hear all your thoughts. So all these subjects, something that I thought I had already addressed, if it's coming up again, there's a reason for it. So post my visit to Dhakshineswar and spending some time in dhyana regarding that, I began to realize that Devi has always been projecting the rightful way to be a man. What is it to be a man? What is manliness all about? And how a man, without understanding femininity, will go nowhere. Right? I've already addressed this subject in the other video on Arjun and Vrihanala, and it is Vrihanala who is given the right to finally enter into Kurukshetra, sound the bugle of Gandhi when he twangs the string of the bow, and he sounds the battle of Kurukshetra even before it began. So it is not the Shank alone, it is him itself, her, or we can say her. He tweaks the string of the bow, and that is the first sound of the actual Kurukshetra war. And again, it began with the stealing of the cow. So we go back to the cow. The answer that is cow. What is Gau Mata? Why is Gau Mata so important? So we now come back to Parashurama. Deeper answers, Dhakshineswar, the name Dhakshineswar itself is an extremely potent marker that Devi has placed. What is Dhakshineswar? The Lord in the south, or the Lord of the south? So if we are supposed to go into this subject a little deeper, we realize that there are two lords. So Dakshin, it is like this, right? So Kerala, Tulu, all the way till Kanyakumari, known as the Parashurama Kshetra, and then come the Kanda Kshetra. This end point represents two lords. And if you go deeper into Parashurama and understand him, you will begin to realize that Devi has been specifically giving lessons to not just us alone, but she uses MAHAVISHNU itself as an instrument to give lessons on humanity. So it is not just the lessons of Bhagavad Gita or the lessons of Ramayana. There is more. Parashurama's entire subject is a very deep lesson into what it is to be a man. Let's break it down a little bit. So Parashurama supposed to be born into a Kshatriya Kula, born into a Brahmin Kula, given a specific purpose. So even go much higher and look at Mahadhya now carrying the entire pranic energy of Mahadeva. So just like a single sperm is just, it is the size of a dust particle, right? That sperm, it's not even the size of a dust particle. Probably the doctors and the biologists can ascertain that. So I believe it's smaller than a dust particle, right? I don't know. You will have to look into the scientific size by this, but that small sperm goes into the womb, the uterus, and it creates an entire bodily life formation. So that is the Shiva Shakti Tattva itself. That small tiny dot creating a baby. The baby stays there for 9 to 10 months, comes out and attains comes out with the entire karma, dharma, kripa of that entire bloodline. She has birthed the neighbor, she has birthed the career opportunity, she has birthed where this baby will live the entire life, what clothes he will wear. Mahadeva only gave one speck. What he gave a speck called that prana. That human beings, when you create a baby, you just give that sperm and she creates everything, right? She creates everything, right from who that baby is, who is its grandfather, who is its grandmother, everything she creates. That sort of should give you a magnanimity of what Mahadeva is, how much of Shakti he has and how unmoving he is. By himself he is nothing. What is the value of a sperm that's gone, thrown out? Nothing. But when it goes to the womb, it creates absolute miracle, right from the spacecraft that is now roaming around somewhere in the space, to the railway stations, to the cars, to the t-shirt I'm wearing. Everything is created by that one piece of sperm that has entered into a womb and created a whole life, and it is now still creating. So that is the magnanimity of Devi itself. So once Devi elicits that prana from Mahadeva and she creates a Trimurti, here comes Maheshwara. Her basic ideology of Mahadeva, the core form, simple, not bothered about how he looks, Smashana Devata kind of a very simple, but as time passed away, we began to make him oversimplified. We began to give him a clean shaven look and all that. No, Mahadeva, the Maheshwara that we still envision is that simplistic form of Mahadeva, that simple form. Then comes Mahavishnu, her grand form of how a male deity should look. Grandest form of a male deity. That is also her. Then comes Brahma, the wise-aged man who will then set up the 4 Vedas, all the agamas, pronunciations, grammar, Vyakhya, Ayurveda, all branches of knowledge, the wise sage. So that is him under the third side. So Mahavishnu, still the son of Madhya, the middle part, he is still being guided at a very rapid pace, wherein he is given a dharma. So first proper human birth. Now, as Parashurama, he's still by himself as a deity, still learning. So he keeps dharma so high. Mahavishnu, what did Devi give him? What is his duties? Ensure dharma is kept. This is your duty. In this Mrittiloka, you will only ensure that dharma is there. Whenever dharma falls, you will come running. So Mahavishnu, what does he understand? Just like it is a dialogue between Mahadeva and Ma Parvati, Bhairava and Bhairavi, that gives us all the text. Just like that, there is a beautiful esotericism hidden here, that Mahavishnu himself is being taught a lot of things by Adhya. So we go even higher. Mahavishnu is taking education of what it is to set dharma, how do you set dharma, what it is like, what it is that is life itself. Everything is being given to him in a platter very beautifully. So Parashurama, when he said that I will now protect dharma, what is his ideology? He takes the axe, starts clobbering left and right, entire Kshatriya Kula, nobody should survive. He starts giving left and right, everyone. He finds a king, he will destroy. He does intense tapasya, attains Mahadeva himself as the guru, takes all the divine weaponry. When his father says that your mother has to be beheaded, he beheads her. Doesn't think of that for a second. This is the dharma, so do it. Dharma, so Mahavishnu in the form of Parashurama, he is so vairagi that he is actually not embodying any femininity at all. To the extent that without femininity, what is a man? He will become like Parashurama. He will only understand Vairagya. He will not understand creation. He will remain a brahmachari. He will not understand what it is to actually embody Shakti. Which is why, without procreating Devi, he takes all the weapons from Mahadeva and realizes that he's unable to kill the Ishwaku king Suchandra. Why? Because Shakti, he has not understood femininity. At that moment, when he doesn't even understand that Kamadevi, the cow, is actually Devi. Now giving him the purpose, because she has made Mahavishnu, Dharma is under threat, Kshatriyas are not doing what they are meant to do. So what she does, the mere cow that gets kidnapped by the king leads and creates Mahavishnu's entire Leela of destroying the Kshatriya Kula itself. Now, however, he still has not understood. What is he doing? He's holding the axe in his hand and he's clobbering the Kshatriya Kula. So when you hold an axe in your hand, what are you essentially doing? You are still attached to it. You are not learning to detach. Parashurama there is not learning to detach. That is why he has an axe for the weapon. He is still holding it. So that is why he Mahavishnu loses himself in the bloodthirst rage to such an extent to establish Dharma that Devi realizes as he runs towards the Suchindra king, Ishwaku king, Suchindra, Devi realizes that Mahavishnu there needs a lesson. What is that lesson? Femininity. What is the lesson of femininity? Devi. So what does she do? She simply removes a Shakti from that Trishula that he's throwing at the Ishwaku king. And what happens because of that? Trishul mein Shakti nahi, and that Trishul merely becomes a garland around the king. And Parashurama doesn't understand anything. How is this possible? I am holding the weapon of Mahadeva himself. He is my guru and it is having no impact on the Kshatriya. He is in a Dharma Sankat as he loses ability to understand what is happening there. So Devi has already decided that it is time to teach him what it is to embody femininity and to worship femininity. So Mahavishnu, as Parashurama and all his avatars before, are not embodying femininity. They are the Vairagi, manly masculinity. They embody masculinity because that is how Devi made Mahavishnu itself. Mahavishnu was made in the perfect embodiment of a exceptional male deity. This is how an exceptional male cosmic presence of a deity should be, and she made him like that. So he's walking around with all these avatars. Then she gives him a pat moment when she simply removes a Shakti from his weapons. He doesn't understand what is happening and he's absolutely puzzled because acts like he's running around and he's realizing that the weapon that Mahadeva gave, the Trishula, is having no impact. Realizing that it is Bhadrakali, it is Mahakali standing behind this king, he propitiates himself, and here that is not mentioned anywhere clearly, but what he essentially does at that moment is that therein begins his Shakti sadhana. What he does is, as an avatar itself, he begins his Shakti sadhana. He begins to propitiate Bhadrakali, and it is also him that establishes Devi worship in the entire Kerala belt itself. Kerala, if today is one of the most powerful Devi Kshetras over there, Bhadrakali Kshetras, it is him who did that. and with that, we say Parashurama with axe, with Parashu is Rama with the axe, and with the bow and arrow is Sri Rama. That's all, Ramachandra. That is all. But it is even deeper. What she essentially does is, within the single yuga, she splits the avatar into two and says, I will now show you, Parashurama, Mahavishnu, you learn, you also, we cannot blame anybody who does not really understand Devi, because Parashurama at that moment has not understood Devi. When Vishnu avatar, Parashurama himself has not understand Devi, he has not been able to understand that she is so kuhya. She is not even visible to the eyes of the Vishnu avatar. He only realizes when she takes his sari off. Just like Sri Krishna takes a sari of the Gopiyas, it is only when she takes, what is Parashurama's complete focus on? Parashurama's complete focus is on the axe. Cut karna. I have to kill all the Kshatriya 21 times. I am going to kill 100 times. If you tell me also, I will kill. Till they are completely destroyed, I will keep on killing them. What Devi does, hey Parashurama, you are also my creation. Please understand that when I remove the Shakti of your weapons, you will get the pat. What has happened? What happened to my weapon? What is above Mahadeva? What is above Mahadeva? Adhya. What is above Mahadeva? You can see the Vigraham also. Adhya. That lesson is being very beautifully explained to Parashurama, who at that moment is like completely enlightened to the understanding that this Shakti is actually above Mahadeva. And when my sari is finally gone, that is Parashurama, the weapon is finally gone, he sees Devi. Tamas. Parashurama is introduced to Tamas. Absolute chaos. He is absolutely the Sahasrara has exploded. Itna tuni kar liya hai, do you not understand? Now Parashurama, now you are an exceptional avatar of Mahavishnu, who is also my creation. However, now I will use you to teach Dharma. What is Dharma? She doesn't have to use Parashurama for Dharma. He is also already the embodiment of Dharma. However, he is not letting go of the axe. You have to remove that specific axe from him to make him slow down a little and listen to you. So here she removes it, shows herself, and then he takes the next avatar, that is Sri Rama. And what is Sri Rama known for? The complete and exceptional worship of Ma Sita. So she takes the avatar as Ma Sita, and the same Parashurama is then given the Phat moment where he now comes back as Sri Rama. What is Sri Rama? Sri Rama. So Dharma the highest through Mahavishnu, Parashurama, Phat, Sri Rama. What is he holding now? He holds the arrow. Learn to detach from that. Dharma hai. You are shooting the arrow, done. Move on. There are other facets of life to how to be the exceptional husband. Parashurama the brahmachari, Sri Rama with 2 sons. Parashurama who says that I don't care about anything, I don't want anything, I will simply cut everything down. Hey Mahavishnu, understand what it is. That is how Vadhya is communicating to Mahavishnu itself. Understand what it is to tell and give the lessons of life to these young jivas that are birthing as humans. Teach them right. Now you, as a shishya of me, come as Sri Rama and tell them what it is to hold the dharma high, how to be a king, how to take care of the mother. You cut off the mother's head, now you listen to the stepmother itself and you will tyag the entire throne itself before the mother. In the prayers to your wife, you will take her to Vanavas, but even in the Vanavasa, Sri Sita was never dressed like the tribals. She was always in the grandest of jewels. She was always in the grandest of attire. So, Parashurama and Sri Rama is separated by one small entity, that is Mahadya, who simply gives a lesson to embody femininity, to worship femininity, to understand femininity. Parashurama at the mere, Devi is watching everything, right? At the mere order from Adesh from his father, he decapitates his mother. Devi must not have liked it. So he is not realized at the level of Adhya. Adhya wants to give him the Mahavishnu avatar, who is now blood full of dharma, her own son. Mahavishnu is the own son of Mahadhya Kali. Understand that? Adhya, Trimurti, so Mahavishnu is a son. And his human avatar, Parashuram, is gone bloodthirsty with his own purpose. He's only seeing the purpose. Mother, okay, take off the mother's head. In the Treta Yuga itself, she ensured that he comes back as Sri Rama, and when Sri Rama breaks the bow, again Parashurama comes running to destroy Sri Rama, because she understands only Dharma. When he sees Sri Rama, he understands that, oh, this is another creation of Devi. This is what it is. Kshatriya Kula is not like as you think it is. In Kshatriya Kula, like in Parashurama's eyes, Kshatriya Kula is gone to absolute decimation. There is nobody upholding Dharma. The moment he sees Sri Rama, he has understood the designs of Devi. So, till your eyes are stuck on Mahavishnu, you will not be able to understand Devi. What was Sri Rama? Sri Rama was that moment of Phat given to Parashurama itself, that it is not enough that you simply wield the axe and hold the axe forever and thinking that is my only purpose. You are also supposed to give, it is a lesson to Mahavishnu itself that you are supposed to give the right message. What is the right message? It is not just enough that, so you are saying that everybody should lift the axe and start cutting everybody off. Give the lesson right. Now I birth you as Sri Rama. You will tell them what it is to be an exceptional brother, exceptional son, exceptional stepson, exceptional husband, exceptional king, exceptional warrior. How it is that you treat your enemies. What it is to give a vachan, give a promise and to stand by it. What is morality, what is dharma, what is the heights of the human physicality, everything. Because Parashurama was like, Mahavishnu was so embroiled in setting up dharma, but that as Parashurama he is not unable to understand that he is supposed to give the messages also of dharma. It is not just enough that you set dharma. So every time dharma is under threat, you cannot lift the axe and come running. You have to teach. So she gives a beautiful guidebook called the Ramayana through Parashurama as he propagated to her, realizing the Phat, the sorry gone moment of Parashurama, that is his weapon becomes useless. He sees Devi, Phat, Devi teaching Mahavishnu the realities of what it is to set dharma and coming back as the wife of Parashurama. Sri Rama is the greatest sadhaka of Ma Sita, plain and simple, and Ma Sita had no physical birth. She was completely a cosmic being. She tells Sri Rama, Your weapon of choice is the bow and arrow. What it means, do your dharma and get detached from it. She also, as Sri Krishna, when she comes back and she ensures that Arjuna also is the archer. What does the archer do? Shoot and detach. So today's video will not be a very long one. It is going to be a short one because I wanted to get this addressed on why Devi gives a lesson to Mahavishnu itself. It is to understand femininity. Sri Rama is specifically in Devi's ideology of the perfect man. He is groomed in that way. It is not enough that the perfect man is not the one that does not understand femininity, who at the orders of his father will take the head of the mother off. Devi was not okay with that. So the same yoga, you come back, let me teach you. Now you do one thing. You come back as my husband. So in the Dhakshineswar, a lot of the south, this entire belt, that is the Kerala to Kanyakumari belt, she gives the lesson of the exceptional husband. Parashurama, who ensured that he established the entire Kerala belt itself, she gives him the birth as an exceptional husband. And the most extraordinary, who is most celebrated? Parashurama, nobody is talking about Parashurama itself because Parashurama is part 1, part 2. The one holding the parashu who is not detached from his purpose. Are you detached karo? Even from your physical purpose, you have to detach. Only then you have spirituality. You can go to Devi only after you break, only after your spat comes from your spirituality. So Parashurama, who is refusing to. So, how do you hold an axe? You hold an axe like this, right? So if you never drop it, you are continuously holding it. Parashurama, that is Mahavishnu, is now being taught a lesson that you have to detach. Now I will teach you that lesson. Come back as Sri Rama. I will teach you how to be the exceptional husband, the exceptional archer. Be an archer. You only have to mount the arrow and shoot it. Don't keep running after that. Don't keep running after the arrow and poke it into this one. Dharma, hold Dharma, empower your arrow and shoot it and detach and move off. Why are you running around with the axe? So it is Devi, because it all connects. Where did Parashurama lose his energies? He lost it when he was using the weaponry. Then what does he do? He worships Kali, who is the Ishta Devata of the Ishvaku king Suchindra. That moment, Parashurama appropriates, falls on the floor and invokes Devi. And at that moment, she also blesses him with enlightenment. What was enlightenment? An entire birth as Parashurama comes back as Sri Rama and it learns what it is to establish Dharma. So, here, it is Mahadhya teaching her son Mahavishnu on what it is to correctly appropriate Dharma. So Sri Rama is more celebrated and more worshipped than Parashurama simply because it is Devi's specific purpose of teaching Parashurama what it is to be the Dharma Guru. Plain and simple, so beautiful. I don't think there can be anything that is more beautiful than this. Holding the axe and running around, you think this is what is setting Dharma? I will teach you now. I will give you a weapon which will allow you to detach and be kind and thoughtful and dutiful towards your other purposes. Parashu, my dearest Parashurama, now you learn. Come back as Sri Rama. Same name, and they also face each other, right? They face each other. When Sri Rama is at the Swayamvar, he breaks the bow. Parashurama again comes running. That moment in the text will mention, because the realization of Adhya will only grow now that the fifth head is here of Bhairava. Now the direct knowledge of Adhya is coming out. So now we learn that it is when Parashurama he doesn't realize that Sri Rama is Mahavishnu. What he realizes that it is Devi's that Vachan, where she said that you yourself will come back and see yourself standing before you as the rightful guardian of Dharma. You will see yourself as Sri Rama, and that moment you go, Pata, I realize this. That moment when I lost my weaponry, like the Gopiyas lost the sari, I have now lost my ability and I have understood that I have done my part, and now Devi has birthed Sri Rama, the righteous Kshatriya. So Devi played a trick. Devi is the one who plays the trick all the time. It is always Devi. Why she birthed Parashurama into the Brahmana Kula and not to Kshatriya Kula? Because she already knew that Parashurama, Mahavishnu's intent to do Dharma is so high that he will not detach from the axe. He will keep on cutting, he will forget to give the lesson. Cut. So what Devi did? I will birth my son, Mahavishnu, and Sri Rama, and come back as a wife also. And as he teaches the lesson to how you uphold femininity at the highest level, as he teaches that, I will give the lesson to all the men on what it is to be Sri Rama. How do you uphold Dharma? I do not think there is anything more beautiful than this. How this is actually people are not able to imagine above Mahavishnu. So what they do is they sort of get stuck in that realm. Actually you're supposed to go above Mahavishnu. You're supposed to go what is Shakti path. So you finish Vaishnavism, you come into Shaivism, then you come into Shakta. Shakta is the last. In Shakta, you finally realize what is Devi. So why is Sri Rama's entire, what is Sri Rama if you remove Ma Sita? What becomes of that avatar itself? Purposeless. There is no purpose to Sri Rama once you remove Ma Sita. Similarly, there is a Phat moment placed with Parashurama when he loses the Shakti, the weapon. He loses the Shakti of the Parashu, the axe, because there is a Phat being placed to Mahavishnu itself by Devi saying that wait. Your purpose is to set Dharma, but also to teach. Wait, I will also come. And what she does, she comes back as Sita, wife of Sri Rama, and at the moment of the Swayamvara, see where he has entered. Watching that bow getting destroyed, he's again coming back with his axe. Again gone back to that mode. He sees Sri Rama and realizes that okay, Devi has done her trick now. I realize that the ultimate perfect Kshatriya has come back. My purpose is done as Parashurama. The ultimate Kshatriya has come back. In the limited understanding, we continuously project it as Mahavishnu itself, but you do not understand that it is at the Swayamvara of Ma Sita, the name of Ma Kali. It is for her that Sri Rama faces off with Parashurama. The bow breaks, that moment like that the bow breaks, giving realization to two avatars that, hey Parashu, hey Parashurama, above you I stand as Devi. After taking your weaponry, while this weapon breaks, I have introduced you to your other side and giving completion to your avatar itself as Sri Rama. Do you realize that this is also you? The one who can give Phat to the most Ugra avatar. Is there a more Ugra avatar than Parashurama for Mahavishnu? None. The one who gave the Phat moment to Mahavishnu itself and showed that, see, you came as Parashurama, now I give you the arrow. Devi always gives the arrow. Her main weaponry is the arrow. Bow and arrow. I have birthed you again as exceptional Kshatriya because if Parashurama had been correctly birthed into a Kshatriya Kula itself without the trickery, the entire story would have been different. Imagine a Kshatriya like Parashurama. It would have been, I don't think there will be a single Asura left. I do not think that Ramayana will exist if Parashurama was born into a Kshatriya Kula like Rama, Sri Rama. It would, the moment if Parashurama was born into a Kshatriya Kula, imagine how long Ravana would last. And Parashurama specifically had to lose in front of the actual Kshatriya king because unme lesson hai, because you are still not giving the right Dharma lesson. You do not take your head of your mother off. You cannot take the head of your mother off. Mother is Shakti, right? Mother is Shakti. You have to birth the next generation. So Sri Rama comes back, worshipping the wife, worshipping the mother, worshipping the throne in the right way, Dharma, uploading. Fathers were Vachan also taken care of. Brother, how to handle your brother, how to handle the wife, how to keep the wife even when everything is getting destroyed and you're in the Vana itself, you still keep wife as the Devi that she is. So many lessons. Phat to Parashurama itself, Lord of the South. There are two lords. So Dhakshineswar, in Dhakshineswar, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahams has been known to dress up as a woman. He would wear sari and pretend and walk around as a woman itself. So this mard ko dard nahi lagta, this concept, she always breaks it down and she gives the realization that it is by embracing femininity that you truly become the embodiment of a man. This lesson was given to Mahavishnu itself. Mahavishnu central avatar, what does Mahalakshmi do? She's always at the feet, right? Whereas to Sri Rama, Ma Sita is kept at such a height that he literally loses everything in her quest. He goes to the literal forest with absolutely nothing but her, kept at the height. From the scratch you have to go to attain Devi. Parashurama itself is negated and kept out of the scene simply to give a lesson that let us now look at femininity. And then what happens? That entire yuga is done. Dwapara people begin to lose their ability to understand Sri Rama. Sri Krishna comes, again gives who's the weapon that he chooses? Arjuna and his bow and arrow. There is deeper meaning in Arjuna itself. Bow and arrow on one side, his relationship with Panchali again needs to be understood in a deeper way. Why does she beget 5 husbands? What is the nature of how does a woman survive in the Kali Yuga? A woman is expected. See, Shakti is under a lot of pains in Kali Yuga. The birth of a woman is not a normal birth. She has to suffer a lot in Kali Yuga. Men do suffer, yes, but the woman's suffering is multifold. She has to go to a job today where she is equally as she is expected to be devoted in the as a wife to the husband. She's also expected to be as devoted. So this five husbands that Panchali had, the Adhara was always Arjuna. Her actual love and intent towards marriage is Arjuna. Arjuna is the one who won her. So here the message is very clear. Arjuna and Ma Panchali. However, as per the niyamas and the breakdown due to Ma Kunti's slip of the tongue, very beautifully placed there, she has to now call other brothers also as husbands. So it is like the wife, devoted wife, has to go to a job and give equal importance to the job while also keeping the husband in place, keeping the children in place, has to keep the roof in place, has to go and take care of the boss. Otherwise, she will lose her career. You will notice that the number of men who are now fending for themselves is reducing, and women are now taking care of families. This is the message of Panchali. But the Adhara is always Arjuna. The time that Panchali spent with Arjuna was the one that gave her the Adhara to handle every other brother. Here the brothers represent the breakdown of the physical Shiva Shakti Tattva, and now the woman has to fend for the entire family. But if Arjuna had not rightly empowered Panchali, she would not have been able to do the other duties well. So if the husband, as he realizes that the Devi, Panchali, the wife that you have, the Devi Tattva in your life, if she has to function right, he has to give the right Adhara. Even she should also realize that she will be forced to become as devoted as she is in the house, in the office. Arjuna must realize that it is her purpose that she has to be as devoted there, instead of pulling her back and forcing her to be, you are only my wife, what you are doing in the office. This sort of childishness should not exist. This I have noticed in my own life. So my mother was a working mother. So Devi has placed all this in my life so that I can learn everything, right? And when my mother used to be late from office, my father would very manly way, he would call and scold her. What is this? How can you be late? What is this all? She has gone there to earn a living. She has gone there and that salary is helping the family also. You should understand that like Panchali, the woman has to hold all the brothers intact and become, to uphold Dharma, she has to be equally devoted in the office, with the in-laws, with the society, everything she has to hold. Now she's not like Ma Sita, who was completely devoted only to Rama. The woman in the Kali Yuga can no longer be like that. So when my father used to call and scold her for being late and all, what he does not realize is that she has to show equal devotion everywhere. The woman is split into five sides and she has to take care of all the sides. Panchali's 5 husbands, she was equally devoted, but Arjuna gave her the Adhara to uphold Dharma. So if Arjuna had completely called and disturbed her whenever she was in the other facets of her Shrap, as we call, she has to spend time with the other brothers. If Arjuna had continuously called her and disturbed her, would she have been able to fulfill that purpose? No. Breakdown of the collapse of the marriage. In Kali Yuga, marriages will not be like that with the initial Dwapara or in Treta Yuga. The woman will walk out and she will fend because the up is becoming down, down is becoming up, everything is now collapsed. Like the 5 husbands, what she's actually doing is the 5 purposes: job, in-laws, paying the fees. The children's education is also coming on to her. Men are losing the Shakti to actually do what they were meant to do. Arjuna is no longer existing in Kali Yuga. Arjuna should empower Panchali to such an extent that she will be able to finish off that entire 5 facets of life that she has to do. Otherwise, she will not exist. You will not exist. Husband and wife will not exist anymore. Arjuna is the Adhara which allows Panchali to fulfill her purpose. If Arjuna said, don't go there, she would not have gone. Collapse. That is what is happening. So, the power structure of the households are now changing. Wives are fending for the house. But the husband should understand that he should not be in Treta Yuga while the wife is in Kali Yuga. He should understand that there will be some nasty incidents, there will be nasty moments, but as long as the Shiva and Shakti Tattva like Arjuna and Ma Panchali, whenever they are together, they are in full, Ma Panchali is absolute lover is Arjuna. That is the man she wanted, and that is the man who got her heart. However, the twist of fate was such that the woman is forced to fend for the family, forced to take care of the fees, rent, EMIs, everything. Now, Arjuna should not behave like somebody from Satyuga. Arjuna should understand that it is Panchali's Dharma in Kali Yuga that she has to fend for herself and take care of all of this. That is why the 5 brothers and Panchali, the message is that Adhara has to be strong and hold. This entire subject will need a specific separate video, and today's video itself is because I really wanted to address Devi's design of giving the Phat to Mahavishnu itself. Wait, Rama name we'll keep. Let's keep the marker as Rama. But why are you continuously holding your first human avatar? You are losing the actual crux of your purpose. Hey Mahavishnu, I now give you the purpose. So beautifully then she births himself, makes them see each other while a weapon breaks. Again, it's a weapon breaking that they face each other. Mahavishnu, seeing Mahavishnu, realizing the Devi-The, giving a Phat, and then Sri Rama walks up. Sri Rama, Devi taking control and says, hey Sri Rama, now I will teach you the entire thing. Come, now let's live this avatara and give the entire Dwapar Yuga a guidebook, Ramayana. You need to understand all this, then only and only way is Devi. The moment Devi begins to talk to you, you will make sense of this sort of esotericism. Why Parashurama and Sri Rama faced each other while a weapon was breaking? Why? Because weapon breaking is very important for Parashurama because it is his Phat moment. If he had not, his weapon had not, like Sari is going off, if it had not had gone off, he would continuously kill Kshatriya again and again, and he will not even come out of it. He will forget to give the guidebook that is Ramayana. Devi had to come back. Wait, my dear son. Wait, I'm coming. What could be more beautiful than this? Again and again, Adhya, Kala Bhairava, Dasamahavidya's head, Kali. She places herself. Parashurama, Adhya, Mahavishnu, Parashurama, Sri Rama, understand better. What is your purpose? Ma Sita. Everywhere it is the same design. It is Devi coming back again and again and again and again, giving purpose to the Shiva Tattva. She is drawing the Shiva Tattva for specific purposes. It is there everywhere. But if you say that Devi, my Ishta is Mahadeva, Devi is somewhere here, you will never truly understand. You can be the greatest Mahavishnu Bhakta, but you will not understand that Parashurama being given the Phat moment is Devi's design. His weaponry was taken at that specific moment. That only led him to face Sri Rama while the weapon was breaking again in Swayamvara. As the Sri Rama, again the Vishnu Tattva, 8th Rudra he is, okay? Vishnu Tattva, the 8th Rudra, broke the weapon, which again Parashurama holds weapons at the highest. He came running. It is during the Swayamvara, Devi gives him, see, I give you the mirror image. Parashurama did not see Mahavishnu there, he saw Devi and himself. he realizes that now, as I watch Sri Rama, she is going to give me a lesson and give me a different realm, a dimension of myself as Sri Rama. Parashurama is actually in his heart, deepest of the hearts, he's elated that he's now going to be learning from Devi herself. And he goes back and meditates in Mahendragiri. What he meditates on is none other than Sri Rama. Because it is him, Devi now teaching Parashurama itself that Dekhlo, excellent. This entire, all your avatars from Satyuga all the way till the half of Treta was exceptional. However, now I have to give a lot of lessons. You are my son. Mahavishnu, you are my son. I have birthed you as Devi. Now, let me also project the perfect man. Look at the description of Sri Rama. His hands were as long as his knees. So I've been a boxer in my life. Let me tell you, this long hand, Devi has specifically done something extraordinary. Let me tell you a small story from my own life. So in boxing, this super heavyweight, so my category is 91 kg and above will be super heavyweight, and we are known for the exceptional power that we hold, right? Not the speed. And what they would do is in sparring sessions is that they would put us faces off with the lightweights, because lightweights don't have power. The power is there, but it will be like maybe 40% or 50% of the power of a super heavyweight, right? Because the mass is not there, right? So they would put us in the sparring ring with the lighter weight combatants. So one state champion and me were sparring, okay? And there is something called the wingspan. Sri Rama's hand is as long as his knees. There is very beautiful meaning in this, and how boxing correlates to this. So you got to stretch with full fingers like this. You got to stretch your hand out and mark the tips of your finger on the wall, and you need to measure that. That is called the wingspan of the boxer. So the longer the wingspan, the better is the boxer, because he can keep himself safe while the punch lands on your opponent, right? So what I would do is, even though most of the boxing coaches today insist that you should stand like this, face your opponent like this, what I would do is, when I was facing off this extremely fast opponent, lightweight guy, he can move 10 times faster, because he's just 52, 53 kgs and I am 99, 98 kgs, right? I cannot move at his speed. So what I would do is, like an archer, I would place myself like this, not like this, like this. So the point of contact is lower, and my hands are extremely long. My wingspan is extremely long. Of course, it doesn't reach the knees, but it is very long. And I would take advantage of this wingspan to such an extent that, keeping myself lower, this is the guard, I would keep my jab going. So this lightweight guy, I would not let him enter into my zone of contact. So I would continuously be, even if I'm not throwing a punch, my hands will be somewhere outside, because this guy should not enter inside. The moment he enters inside, he can put 10 punches, because his speed is very high. So what I would do is, so what I'm trying to say is, today a modern sport called boxing, in that also the core is the length of the arm. So how Devi has made Sri Rama, think of that for a second. And this position which I had myself thought that I should hold like this, my coach would always scold me and say, come like this, why are you doing this? But I used to do this because this is the natural position of an archer actually. And this is what I was doing. And I was able to keep that guy at bay. He was not able to come near at all, because I was throwing this jabs, here. And my actual young guy, my coach was a young guy, he would always scold me. He would be in his 40, 50s. He always scold me, why are you doing this? I was doing it on purpose. I was using my wingspan, right? To make contact at distance, so that he will not be able to come inside. There is an 84-year-old Ashan. He is the founder of this club. It's a very very old club, and he's 84. Only for sparring sessions he used to come. So seeing how I was able to hold this boxer much lighter weight, he's not even able to come near me in spite of me being, and I'm able to easily deliver the punch. He's not able to get closer to me at all. The moment he would come close, I would take a step back, and again I would keep the guard at distance, right? He would, after this one, he's very old, he's not even able to get up and walk properly. He's no more. Om Shanti. He's no more. He would call and he would congratulate me, because he understood that I am modifying my wingspan to such an extent that now I am using the length of my arm to keep this guy at bay. He cannot even enter near me, and while the coaches are also not able to understand this, the ability to manipulate and understand what is your plus point. My plus point is my wingspan. I am using the length of my arm to keep this faster boxer away. And Devi, when she has made Sri Rama, she has made him so perfect that he will also be able to hold the dhanush like this. So the longer the arm is, more power into the pull. So beautiful. See how she has constructed Sri Rama. Parashurama, shortcuts. Right? Shortcuts. Axe how much you need. That's all you need. But what about the bow and arrow? So how did Devi make Sri Rama? Length of the arm. You need to understand Devi to break down why Sri Rama had a long arm. My small few years into boxing, I can relate the length of the arm. Same position, right? Arrow. And this is what I would do. I would hold myself. If I was like this, bigger target is presented to the faster enemy. Enemy name, opponent, we're all brothers. But bigger. So what I did? Smaller target. I have completely protected and made a smaller target. यहाँ पे तक score नहीं आता है. You need to touch here and up to the belly only gets scored. So I have presented a smaller target and keeping the arm going like the arrow. So today morning I was just thinking about Sri Rama's exceptionally long hand. What did it mean? Why was his arm so long? That is what it is. Turn. That is what it is. So the longer he could pull the body of the archer. In ancient, not ancient, I keep saying ancient because I keep going back to these times, right? In the old boxing textbooks, you will notice that continuously they would actually ask you to hold the position of the archer. However, the modern boxers, especially in some of the local clubs, they make you stand like this. You see in UFC and all, it's just fighting sport, they are just standing like dead, like this. But if you see the position of the archer, very small target is present. Only this much you have because this hand is like this hand is like this, and you are holding this. You hold this together again like the archer. You hold your shoulder. Look at boxing as a sport and archery. You compare it. You hold the shoulder. You stick the shoulder to this spot in order to protect this. So you're holding it like this. Your hand is like this, right? You always hold the shoulder high. This one protects this side. So you're shooting from here. So you're protected here. Your hand is here, so your opponent cannot. Beautiful. It is almost like the position of the archer, and that is what I have been unknowingly doing in the ring. And only my 84-year-old Ashan, the founder of the club, understood what I was doing. The young coaches had no clue. He's no longer there. He passed away very recently, founder of this exceptional club. He has been boxing from when he was 10 or something, and the club is now crossing almost like 3 generations. It's there in Chennai. So anyway, how beautifully that made me understand why the length of the arm of Sri Rama, how much it would have been useful for him as an archer, to hold it high. Length, if your arms are especially long, how much of pull you can generate on the arrow. Beautiful. And Sri Rama's beauty is, okay, this is not described anywhere. It's almost like a memory that came in my dhyana, a small pearl of sweat that comes out of Sri Rama's head, and it is here standing on the forehead, and the Asuras watching it in absolute awe. The Asuras, when they finally are facing Sri Rama face to face, they see such exceptional beauty. How can a man be so beautiful? They understand that to die at the tip of this man's arrow, that itself is the greatest boon. Parashurama's enemies, when they were being killed, they did not see Mahavishnu. They were simply being killed by an angry Brahmana who has taken up the axe to set Dharma. But when Sri Rama, the Devi, finally gives all the message, 14 years of Vanavasa, such an exceptional king who does not care about property and throne, he is now standing in front of you with the arrow, and the small bead of sweat is also looking like a piece of diamond. வேர்வையை பார்த்தா வைரக்கல்லு மாதிரி. The sweat itself is shining like a piece of diamond, and the Asuras, they no longer want to fight with this man. Oh, he is so exceptionally handsome, because Devi's ideology of the perfect husband. So in the Lord of the South concept, this entire side the perfect husband, and this entire side Kanda, Murugar as the perfect son. So Lord of the South, Dhakshineswar, Lord of the South, what is the meaning? This is the meaning. It is by meditating on this very name, Dhakshineswar, that I began to realize that she has given 2 lords. The perfect husband from the Parashurama Kshetra, Parashurama becoming Sri Rama, and the perfect son, Murugar, Kanda Bhairav. Both of them are known as the perfect embodiment of manliness. The way she gives Gyana. See, I learned about why you should have a longer wingspan by stepping into the ring, and I realized that if you use the longer wingspan, even the fastest boxer will not be able to touch you. Even if by any chance he gets into your defense and he's here now, he can now throw 100 punches that you take one step back and you again in the guard. Why Sri Rama was birthed with the long wingspan. Exceptional. Use your body as the yantra. Do all this. Learn some martial arts. Learn the body. She has birthed it for a reason. Understand the body. Understand femininity. Do not look at the female energy, female body as a pure animal. Understand and see Devi in it. Understand why a woman in Kali Yuga will have to embody not just Arjuna as the Adhara, she'll have to put equal effort into other facets of her life. What do the 5 brothers that Panchali married mean? Understand. So today was a generic video. I wanted to address this subject because I believe that this subject, though I have addressed many times, it did not have as much clarity as I have on it now. Devi gave a pat. Reminded me of my own boxing days and how the position of the archer, that I myself, without my own knowledge, I took the position of the archer in the boxing ring and I was able to cut off that, This is only where I could take care of the smaller opponent who's so fast. If I do this, see, if I'm in this position, the target is too big. Every time I would move my hand to throw a punch, I left this open. But in the position of the archer, he can only see, no point hitting here, right? There's no point here. Only place he can hit is here. The entire body is also covered. So you do this is actually the position of the archer. How she plays with you, huh? Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Om Namo Bhairava Namo Namah.